Mary Kay Cabot 822 this morning, where she wrote an article, said, hopefully it's a wake-up call for Shedeur Sanders. What was the wake-up call? Well, apparently he got – the wake-up call for me would be like, hey, can somebody tell him that you can't go 61 and a 60 on 71 through that stretch of Strongsville before you do any of this stuff? I mean, my God. So Shedeur Sanders got a speeding ticket last night, or a few nights ago, I should say. 12:36 a.m., 101 and a 60. Is it a big deal?
No, I don't think.
All right, moving on.
I don't think it's a big deal that, somebody would have probably, I'm assuming. Do we know what vehicle it was? What's he driving?
Looked like a pick-em-up truck.
I didn't want to dox him or anything.
Which is interesting because quarterbacks don't usually right. That's a luxury automobile that a quarterback has. So I got to keep, because I told you.
Although the trucks cost what luxury vehicles cost.
That's a fair point. Because usually I'm very good at picking out what type of vehicles that type of players.
Is. We've gone through this before. Yes. We've done it off the air because we don't really want to tell everybody what everybody's driving.
We've done it on the air. I just didn't say what exactly that person was driving, but like linebackers like to drive Range Rovers. I'll do it right now. Exotics are for wide receivers, cornerbacks. Safeties will drive an SUV. It depends. Offensive linemen are trucks. Punters and kickers, surprisingly, trucks. Yes. I don't know if they're – it's because it's like a compensation thing because they really don't practice. So maybe they just drive lifted trucks.
They're taken out of society. They're not with everybody else all the time.
Yeah, so they have to have something to fit in with everybody. Quarterbacks are usually luxury sedans of some sort. Again, usually. That's why I was surprised when I saw
had a truck. I remember seeing him a lot around town.
He had a truck?
He had like a white pickup truck. It was a big one too. It was like it was one of the. It was a nice one. It wasn't like a beater, but it was a really nice one.
Because a lot of other QBs I've seen, it's been luxury sedan. Maybe a real high end luxury SUV or something like that. But that's basically where it stands. Oh man, I wonder if that's like a young quarterback thing, and then later on as a veteran. Because the veterans I've seen, it's been like Mercedes. This, that, and the other.
I think this was Baker's rookie year when I saw him. So it might be a young quarterback thing.
Because like a CEO would drive like a luxury sedan of a company or be driven from a luxury sedan in a company. And then, an NFL quarterback, if they're a franchise QB, it's usually a luxury sedan. Either way, that's a very interesting observation there. Maybe with the age comes with it. Anyway, he gets pulled over for 101 in a 60, which this is like an annoying thing because it's like, yeah, buddy, slow down. Don't be speeding like that. I don't know why you had to go 101, especially anywhere at any time, but slow it down. And then that's kind of where I leave it because he only got cited for speeding. He didn't. I read the story. He didn't get cited for reckless ops.
He didn't get reckless ops?
No, so he didn't get cited for reckless ops.
Over 100 have to get that reckless ops in play.
He got cited for speeding. That's what he got cited for. So
the only thing the first question I had is when, obviously, because there's
I think it was like 12:36 in the morning.
Yeah, so that's the one thing I would probably say is obviously if you're Kevin Stefanski, you don't want your guys ever getting caught.
Hurry to get home. Maybe you had to go to the bathroom. We don't know. But
you don't ever want anybody out at night, not just because of you, but because of everybody else around you, especially when it's dark out. The instances certainly get elevated when it's nighttime. Because, you can't see as far. You can't see anything sometimes that's going on out there. And you can't trust anybody because what are people doing at midnight? A lot of people who are they're coming home from bars. They're coming home from drinking. So that's the part. If you're the head coach, you're like, dude, not only you going 100, you're buzzing by people. And what are they doing in their cars? Are they coming home from something? Are they looking at their phones? So that's the only thing that would cause me, especially if I'm the head coach, if I'm the GM, that's what I'd be worried about at that point.
There's no usually when you're doing segments, outrage stuff is easy to do. You just kind of put it on the tee and you hit it off the tee. If he was weaving in and out and God knows what, I mean, there'd be a conversation. He was going 101, he got cited. I think we move on. That's why, I kind of want to see where Mary Kay is on it. And what sucks about it is that it doesn't put you in a great situation.
What's just a headline?
No, I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about you, me, like JJ on Twitter. Twitter Reactions brought to you by Shab & Jewelers, Cleveland's premier jewelry store. Hey, Ken, I was doing 95 and a 70 on the Turnpike a few weeks ago and didn't get caught. Do I get a segment too? Well, first, congratulations on all your success. I guess you're fantastic at speeding. Second of all, you don't play quarterback for the Browns. Anytime a guy, guys, if Dylan Gabriel got 101 and a 60, we would do a segment on Dylan Gabriel doing 101 and a 60. If Joe Flacco, I'd be pretty damn surprised if Joe Flacco got 101 and a 60. We'd be talking about him. We'd be talking about Kenny Pickett. Any quarterback who plays for the Cleveland Browns in the month of June, by the way, in the month of June, in the summertime, where it's, let's go. Well, we had a big argument about the WNBA yesterday because they had their first fight. It was a watershed moment there. There is, the Joey Chestnut led a Sports Center at one point where he was coming back. Yes. So, yeah, you get a speeding ticket in the month of June.
It's probably one of the worst months
it's going to be a conversation. But it turns into what's going to be realistic about it. Am I outraged by it? No. Have I been pulled over for speeding many times? Have I gotten many speeding tickets myself? Yeah. So is it hypocritical of me to sit there and rip on them? Yes. Now, I'm a 38-year-old man who hasn't been pulled over speeding in a while, but it happens.
Most guys would admit that they've hit triple digits at some point in a vehicle. I'd say most people that have a vehicle that is capable of doing some fun things on the road, they have probably tried to test just how much fun they can have on the road. So let's be honest with ourselves. Young athlete, yeah, probably in a nicer vehicle. If it is, I'm guessing he drives something pretty cool.
Last time I got pulled over for speeding. I will tell you the last time I got pulled over. I was going on Diagonal Road in Streetsboro. And it's a 35 through there. And it's a long road. Diagonal Road is it might be a state route for all I know. And I'm going through, and it's 35, and it doesn't feel like it should be 35. It feels like it should be 45. And I picked up the kids from school, and I picked up all the neighbor kids from school. So I got me, Axel, and like 3 kids. I got 4 kids all in the truck. Windows are down. Eli starts assing off in the back seat. So I'm doing this. I'm driving. I got the one arm on the wheel. I'm like, knock it off. And I'm not paying attention. And I'm going 46 and a 35. And as I'm coming up over the hill, the cop starts to come up over the hill. And I went, oh, God. And I swear to God, Tone, I just went up like not even a quarter of a mile, not even. I saw the first house. There was a blue house on the left. I just turned into their driveway. And the lady and her husband, they were an older couple. They're like gardening in the backyard kind of. And they're going,
were you hiding?
No. I knew I was going to get pulled over. Okay. He didn't hit the lights. He didn't swing it around. Yeah. It's tight. He couldn't do it. And Axel goes, why did we pull in here? Because I didn't just pull into the park. I didn't just pull into the driveway. I pulled in far enough to make room for the officer. And the people are looking at me going, they're looking at me like they're about to ask me, can I help you? And I go, hold on, Axel. And all of a sudden, here's a cop, and he's got his lights on. He's getting ready to turn in.
Waving?
And I'm just sitting there going, he goes, oh, my God, we're getting pulled over. So it's
hoping you guys had some American apple pie on the windowsill.
It's me, my license, my registration in a hand. All the windows are down in the truck. And the cop comes up, and there's 4 kids in the car, and they're just in the truck. They're just sitting there going, staring at him. I go, I'm sorry. This little one behind me was a little bit rambunctious. I know it's 35. I live right over there. I messed up. I'm sorry. It's 2 in the afternoon, 3 in the afternoon. So that's the last time I got pulled over for speeding.
I was getting chased by a Cleveland Browns football player.
216-474-0092. The guys who hate me are all gone. Players I got.
Yeah, you're good.
By the way, players I always really got along with. There's only been one coach I really didn't. 2. There's been 2 coaches I didn't get along with. Rex in Wadsworth. You're next up on the Fan. Hello.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Hey, we're doing good, Rex.
Did we all forget about LeBron got pulled over doing over 100 mile an hour on the same highway?
Wasn't that like 2008?
Well, I don't think they did forget about Rex because I saw 1 million people tweet that yesterday. So people do have decent memories.
Nothing ever happened about that. Big deal. Let it go.
Well, because it's this weird spot where it's like if you bring it up, thank you, Rex, then you're hating the guy, and it's like I don't hate the guy, but it's news. It has to be brought up.
And there was I remember I was in journalism school back in the day, Kenny, and I always wondered, why do they have to write? Because some of the headlines, anytime somebody famous would get pulled over, they would say specifically in the headline, not an alcohol-related infraction.
Yeah.
And I was like, why do they have to do that? That assumes that everybody's out drinking and driving. Well, then I came to realize, well, that's because it's the first question everybody wants to know. And especially when he was pulled over was after midnight. That's the first conclusion. Were they partying? Where are they coming from? Were they hanging out? What were they doing? And that's the first thing you got. Obviously, he wasn't pulled over for it because it would have come up. And then the other thing is, well, it's an athlete. Athletes get away with anything. Not anymore. Not anymore, especially like highway patrol. You're almost more inclined as an athlete. Like you look around the country, a celebrity, an athlete. Now it's not like the old days. I mean, you got dashboard cams, you've got the vest cams. You know, people want to know why didn't you ticket them if they had a name?
It's very hard. Zach in Parma, hello.
Hello.
Hi, Zach.
First of all, big fan, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you for calling. Go right on ahead.
Real quick, where did you get pulled over at in Strongsville? It was on 71?
71, yeah, through that, there's always that. I'm imagining it's by that part by the turnpike, and they love to sit right there.
Yeah, I feel for the kid. He just signed an NFL contract. He's making it big. He's got to be driving probably a Ram T-Rex or a Ford Raptor. If I had the money that he had in one of these trucks that goes as fast as he goes, my God, I would have been going 150. I cannot even.
Well, you can't condone that, but you can't condone it, Zach. I mean, Zach, how old are you?
Yeah, see what's capable of.
I'm 23.
Oh, okay. So you're young. So we did this. This is great. One time years ago when Joe Hayden was still here, right? These are the stories that happened. I remember there was a big ass story, Zach, where Joe Hayden had 6 cars. And I remember it was one of the most bizarre nights ever I had on the air when I was on at night, Zach. I had guys calling in about what's he doing with his money? Why is he spent? Because this is back when you got big rookie contracts. What's he doing with his money? Why are you spending all this money on 6 cars? And I just had to come out and say, I go, guys, I'm 25 years old. I love cars. I would buy 6
Kevin
cars.
would get 7.
And so I think that we all have to look and go, like, if he were, like, honestly, if he was in his mid 30s doing this, you're like, hey, you probably got a wife and kids. You really got to slow it down. Let's take her easy here. And I'm glad nobody got hurt. So we always say that, but it's like, hey, just be more responsible next time. Be careful next time. And you try to move on. Now, since it is Shedeur, and I think we'll end up covering what Shedeur had for breakfast at some point in our lives.
It's the second story right now on ESPN.com.
Yeah, there you go. It's because and also, hey, it's June. It's June.
I mean, I guess so, but it's just crazy. And,
I mean, I'm not going to lie to you guys about it. Yeah.
Given the history we've had with players, I mean, thank God he wasn't drunk. He wasn't, he wasn't.
Of course.
Anything.
Of course.
I feel like this is just insane that he's getting tore up.
But I don't think he's. But I don't think he's getting tore up that much. That's why, like, I got to ask Mary Kay the context at 8:22 of the story. And Zach, thank you for the call. I've not heard anybody ripping him. Like, yes, he's a Browns quarterback. He's a very popular quarterback. Would we be talking about more than we would? We would mention if it were Joe, Dylan Gabriel, or Kenny Pickett. I think we talk about it more because it's Shedeur. He's a very popular person. At the same time, you kind of stare at the wall and go, it's a speeding ticket. Guys get speeding tickets. I'm glad nobody got hurt. I'm very, very glad nobody got hurt. But since nobody did get hurt, it's like, hey, it's a citation. If he got a parking ticket, do I yell at him for a parking ticket? If he got a lot of other things that just come in daily lives, do I yell at him for those sort of things? No. I don't think that this has any bad standing of him in the community. I have not read any. Now, I haven't been on the internet that terribly much since the incident yet, since it got reported yesterday. So I don't know if there's been people just ripping him up and down. I haven't seen anybody, and I haven't heard anybody on the air here ripping him up and down. I think
the only thing I've seen is just some judgment questions. Like, what are you doing at night, that time of night, doing that? Like, not even that he's out. I mean, you're allowed to be out past midnight. Jim Tressel used to say 10 p.m. Nothing good ever happens after 10 p.m. Except I think they won.
Used to come on after 10 p.m.
What's funny is I think they won the national championship after 10 p.m. So that was pretty good.
Fair point.